That one is so buried as to be unusable.
Oh, wait a second, I think it just moved a little bit. Yep.
Oh, there we go.
This is a staple.
And these are the staples I use.
What on earth do you use that for?
We use this in the aerial adventure world in trees and poles to access challenge courses and zip lines.
So you make ladders with these?
Absolutely. And I've installed hundreds of them, clipped to thousands of them, and I've always been curious about how strong they are.
My name is Chris. I work for the Adventure Guild. We design, build, inspect, train for aerial adventure stuff. So ropes courses, aerial adventure parks, zipline canopy tours, that kind of stuff. Once upon a time, the main way that we entered courses was by clipping staples with Y lanyards. Clip a staple, climb, clip the next staple, all the way up into the course. We don't do that anymore. We decided it was a bad idea. But there are still places that do it. I know outside of the US, there are definitely places that do it. But how bad is it? Typically, in the challenge course world, we use 1/2-inch staples. I'm gonna pre-drill 3/8-inch holes, about 3 inch deep for each side of that staple, and we're gonna slam it in all the way until we've covered that last ridge. That'll be the depth that we want. We're gonna do 2 types of tests. We're gonna pull on them and shear exactly the way that you would if you actually needed to use a staple as fall protection. Pulling down on it, I don't really know what to expect. I think it's gonna bend pretty easily. Whether or not it breaks or pops out, I don't know, we'll see. But then we're also gonna pull on it in tension. We're just gonna see how hard you have to pull on it to pop it out of the holes. And I have exceptionally low expectations for what that's gonna take, but we'll see.
I want to leave a comment so bad in this video and then I realize I'm editing it, so I'm just going to say it here. This is 2 nails in a piece of wood, and people are trusting their life to this?
Yeah, it was before I joined the industry, which was 20 years ago.
And they don't do it anymore.
It is not acceptable in the USA to do this anymore.
And what led them to transition to that rule?
So as poles get dry, they start to check, they start to decompose, and I've pulled them out by hand.
So he's pulling straight out right now, and he's already at 16 kilonewtons. It's not bad.
Really surprises me.
Oh, down to 16. Hovering right around 17. It's not 22.2, but it's not bad. I'm shocked. I don't know why I was expecting so much less, but I was definitely expecting less. Alright, here we go. 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 15. 20. Oof. God, I hate this so much. 20. Oh, there it is. Oh, God. How's it not out yet? I don't want to keep pulling. 23.17. What is happening? 13, 14, 15. That is insane. 19. God damn. 22.
It is amazing that just pushed into the wood, that it'll pinch it hard enough to take 20K in to get it out. That is surprising, obviously, all of us.
Yeah.
As he's going to be pulling down, it's going to be bending the metal. And I think what's
look at that.
surprising us here
That didn't
is
take
that
long.
it's starting to bend at 6 kilonewtons.
Nothing. Nothing at all.
So pulling down is how you would load it. Is 6K in before it bends okay-ish?
So I will say I've never seen one of these staples that's bent like that.
It's good to know that no one's just randomly putting 6K in on these. Or do you think that a shock of 6K in is very different than a slow pull with a chain hoist?
It is different.
We didn't do drop tests in this video, so don't get too excited. It's already hard enough to do these tests. Wow, it's at 19K in and still hanging on. The beginning of this video was you slamming this into a live tree and then pulling it out.
There we go.
Please, Troll Patrol, so we don't get canceled.
So it's been explained to me that this is like piercing. In a healthy body, you're going to heal up just fine. Same with the tree. If the tree is stressed or sick, banging a bunch of staples into it might stress it more.
Fair.
Some people in the industry are moving away from banging in really long staple ladders, and there's a variety of ways that they can reduce the number of punctures into a tree.
Now, people are going to leave their comments regardless, and we're not saying you should or should not do this. We are just trying to test what the industry has been doing so we can have a little bit more information about, ideally not life-supporting gear anymore, but it was.
Let's do those same tests in trees. We have two species of trees that we're going to test, cedar and ponderosa. I have installed courses in both species. For trees, we usually use longer staples. This is 8 inches because the tree is going to grow, and this allows some overgrowth on the staple. So this one has a pre-drill, this one does not.
So you got a kilonewton more with a pre-drilled hole?
Yeah, it really surprised me.
I figured splitting the fibers would hold it tighter.
Apparently I don't understand carpentry that well.
Obviously I don't.
Kinetic force. You swing like a girl. Chris didn't pull his staple out. We did, but didn't record it because we ran out of storage on the camera.
So it came out about the same force as the tension staple?
Yeah, it just kind of bent the fibers in the cedar and fell out.
Fell out at 10 kN.
Yeah.
So what's the scientific name for a ponderosa pine?
Pinus ponderosa.
Now it looks like the magical carpentry trick of pre-drilling your hole gave us a higher result again. Next, they tested the Ponderosa in shear with the best background you can have so you can see it clearly.
That's the hole after we pulled the staple out in shear. The other way was like totally blown out with blue sky. We did consider it.
In our shear tests, the deflection on the Ponderosa was much more than on the cedar.
We aren't done yet. These staples have been installed in this Ponderosa for over 20 years. Wow, that really surprised me. That is only 12.5 kilonewtons. And we're out. A lot less corrosion than I expected, and 2, it doesn't have the divots that the newer staples do. That one is so buried as to be unusable.
Wait a second, I think it just moved a little bit. Yep.
Oh, there we go. The second staple is more in line with the puller, and it didn't bend, which is maybe why it got a higher result than this staple.
I'm shocked by how much the two staples that were installed 20 years ago, how much they varied, which is probably why you can't trust them for life support because they're unpredictable.
Yeah, I was surprised by almost every result we got.
Yeah.
But it did satisfy a lot of curiosity for me.
And you said you've pulled staples out yourself by hand?
Yeah.
What I like is the fact that Chris did these tests on his own, and then Bobby and Mike did these tests on their own. Has anybody else done tests like this?
Yeah, some members of the ACCT, which is the association for our industry, have done tests over the last 30 years. It's cool to see that the data they got is very similar to the data we got when tested in similar conditions.
Thank you, Chris, for helping make this episode. It is a ton of work to put a literal ton of force on equipment. You should check out his aerial adventure content online.
The name of the game is efficiency. So today we are talking about rope walking. Oh God, I'm sorry. Were you already doing something? Can't tell them it's efficient if they need 8 ascenders to set it up. I don't know how impressed your 8 followers are going to be when you pass out halfway up. Oh wow, that's dramatic. Well, you take the rest of the day to get set up, and I'll see you at the top. Uh-oh. You all right there, Speed Racer? Oh my God. Oh, cool toy, bud. That's Medicare cover that for you? What a tool. Wow. Wouldn't be caught.
For more challenge course content, you can check out our Never Saddle a Dead Horse video, where we tested multiple ways to join 2 wire ropes. That's a lot less. Broken gear. Ooh.